Lighthouse 1111 Spirituality. This is part 2 to the part 1 of the 2024 to 2029 world predictions, channeled predictions. I'm going to kick straight in. So 2027, the Middle East has a war as well. Something kicks off in the Middle East, and it's sides. Now is it the Shiites versus the Sunni? I'm not sure, but there is something that kicks off now. This sounds all biblical to me. It does, and I had to really sit back and think: is this the end times of what was biblically written down in the Bible? Many different Bibles, not just the Christian Bible, about the end times, and it's a bit scary, really. The Middle East. It just said war. It just said war. That's all I got from it. War. 2027. War. Middle East. Like, war doesn't bring anything than destruction. Doesn't bring nothing but destruction and pain, hardship, death. Let's face it. I mean, there's the other side of it. It brings money for some, power, and a new way of a new system. It does. After war, there's lessons which makes things better for humanity going forward and everything else. But during war, it's not a nice place. It really isn't. And I don't want to use the word war like it's like there isn't already wars going on in the world right now. People dying, people getting shot and blown up. I mean, just have to go to Ukraine and see. I mean, whatever side you are sitting on the fence, if you are, people are dying still, and that's, if you like, regionalized to one specific area. Most people are not experiencing war around the world. Most people aren't. 1 second, I need to put my oud on. Most people aren't suffering with the hardship of not having any basics like food, water, health, access to healthcare, safety. People take that for advantage, or they don't understand the significance of war. I mean, we play it on PlayStation, we play it on certain platforms, we play it, and that disconnect of firing a fake weapon on a computer to the reality. If you're sitting down right now, like I'm sitting down right now, and my windows get blown out because someone's let off an RPG somewhere, or something's blowing up. I mean, the psyche, what mentally it does to you, it doesn't really get talked about enough, really, to be fair. A country going through war, it doesn't matter where you are, your position, your orientations, religious, it doesn't matter. It's the person, the citizen, the person. We're all people. Some people can hack it, many can't. And that's where we are at the moment. I think there's a lot of regions that are going to have some kind of conflict going on. We have it now, but it's not seen as much. Technically, the world is at war. If you look at the situations where I think it's a certain amount of continents at the same time fighting war, it's technically a world war. Technically, that has been passed many of times, and it gets ignored. But the big one, I think we're running right up next to it, and the road is really short right now. It's not going to be kicking no can down the road anymore. It's quite serious now. It is, and we've seen the earthquakes right in Turkey and Syria, and we see the destructions of Earth. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen what Earth can do itself. what if I told you that HAARP will be weaponized? If you know what that is, you know what it is. If you don't, I'm sorry you don't. Talking to those ones who do know, who are not going to use this information in a negative way, and are going to try to help the collective, the people that don't know, the people that don't understand, the people that need protecting and helping, to put them into safety. Do you know what I mean? Because HAARP will be used as a weapon. People's going to say it's climate change. That's what they're going to say, it's climate change. But it's not. It's being used as a weapon. This technology is going to be weaponized. There's going to be many of these systems around in strategic places, which are being told spiritually, that they will be activated basically to cause problems, and these problems are going to affect everyone, including the people themselves that are actually got the. I don't understand it, but including them will see problems, because this Cold War is really serious. It really is, and what the other side will do to the opposition side in order to stop them, there's nothing left off the table. So me, you, and Tom, Dick, and Harry, if you like, it's an old saying. It's we're meaningless, really. We collectively probably can do a lot, but realistically, we're not even probably thought of, really, to be fair. I don't know who these higher people are. Well, I have a suspecting who are. They're the ones probably following me and doing all the bullshit, really, to be fair. But they're one of the parts of that, I'd say. So HAARP will be used as a weapon on a big scale, global scale. Be used as a weapon. It'll be used to stop trade, probably make the waters so unpredictable that sailors and ships and stuff won't want to sort of leave port, really. That just leaves land, which then, we've seen fires in Greece with a train or passenger train crashing into a freight train. I mean, this is peacetime at the moment, by the way. This is peacetime. 2028, I'd like to move on. 2028, the lost years. From what I felt from this was the year of the move. This is people realizing that they probably can't stay where they're meant to be staying, and they need to move to a more suitably safe place for habitation. So what I'm saying is some parts of the world won't be safe. I mean, if you go to Japan, you look at where they had that Hekashima, I think that's how you say it. They reckon that's safe, and they're growing plants and edibles. I personally don't think it's safe, personally, because on one hand they say you need so many hundreds or thousands of years for decontaminated waste to be safe again, but yet you're saying in 10-12 years or something like that, if it is that, you can eat this food grown on the land just a couple of miles down the road. Are you sure? Are you fucking me? Because I can't believe that's true, personally. No shit on the Japs. They might have cleaned every single bit of that dirt. I've seen it done. When they come in and they take all the shit out and keep the dirt there, and it's cleaned. But something a little bit more to home. 2029. We have someone. I'm not going to say the name. We have someone from the royal family that will pass. Yeah, they'll pass. There's a J, so I couldn't get the month. Now we're down to a month. but it's a J month. So yeah, it's a J month. So also in 2029 there'll be no banks, no large banks. The banks, the larger banks, that first crash would have had them sort of just breathing above the water, literally with their mouths and their noses, and literally the rest of it be underwater. By 2029, they sink, if you could say. So largely no large banks. Now there is going to be some banks. There are going to be a lot of small independent banks, and there's going to be some large banks. But those large banks are going to be acting like a small bank, if you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the world's, as you know, it won't be the same after 2029. Is what I've written in my notes here. Contaminated land globally, including water. No superpower, regional powers, or of any of that along the lines, basically. So basically, what happens, I believe, is the Cold War fucking fucks everything up really, and makes the world really a shitty place to live, and very hard for people to live on. Basically, some parts of the world will be contaminated, including water. I know I said 2029, but just a little peek into 2030. The United States, China, Russia won't be classed as countries anymore. Also, United Kingdom, in terms of its kingdoms that it's united, that's the Wales and England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, won't exist. The EU, that's the same thing, is going to break up. Some places that will sustain will be South Korea somehow, Africa, South America, and the Caribbean will join together, and we'll almost have like a last mile, the last lands. That's what I kept thinking from there. Most of the world you won't be able to go to, and these will be the places where you will. There's probably some missing out, because some people are saying New Zealand and places like that will be far away from any sort of stuff that can take out the world. But my understanding is that's absolutely bullshit. It's mainly the countries that I just said, really. So basically, what happens if you are from these countries that I said, like United Kingdom, the EU, you probably go back to your original. It basically going to set the world back, basically. So, okay, let's put it like this. So it would be New York, it would be Los Angeles, if that's still around, and it will be, say, let's think, Kansas City. That would be the resemblance of the United States. Rather than United States, you just deal with the individual states as a country, as opposed to the country as a whole joined together unitedly. The same thing with China, maybe Shandong, what was ones of it down? Shanghai, maybe Beijing. They will be sorry, not Beijing, no, not Beijing, or Washington, by the way, or London. They will be other cities that will take the reign, and they will be that entire country, but that will be the place where you can go. The other parts of these countries will be unsafe. You need to probably have a guide or somewhere to go with you to who knows the local lands, basically. That's how it'll be. Some of it will be natural, some of it will be man. Man would have done this as well. It's quite sad, really, to be fair. Same thing back to the EU. So the EU now, so you'd have like Barcelona rather Spain, or I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it'd be regions or cities that will be safe for habitation. That will be the place of that country that you go to. You won't be able to have access to the whole countries anymore, or will they be called that what you originally know them as? It'd be city. The cities that survive will be that country. So the east of England, I don't know. You might have a city down there, Norwich, say, and a city in Wales, Cardiff. Rather than saying Wales, it'd be Cardiff. Although it is Wales, most of Wales wouldn't be habitable or be contaminated. So yeah, that's not that far away really. But there's a lot of new technology. This new technology, back to the first part, is part of the issue as well, because whatever this technology is, every country that knows about it will fight to literally put us in these sort of situations for the people that will survive, because they need that technology so much to survive. It literally does counter that, and no one wins. That's the point of it. No one wins. There is going to be no winner, no victorious person who says I'm the victor. I've succeeded. No one wins. It's literally set everything back like hundreds of years from where we are today. I'm not even sure if internet and things like that will be available. Honestly, that far back. I mean, there'll be some technologies that could be kept but realistically, we need, the way the world is set at is that every part of this world needs the other part to succeed. So if we start taking bixes out of it, it kind of messes things up for everyone. Do you understand? And that's kind of the situation what's happened here, to be fair. So bottom of the pack we have obstacle and oracle cards. I'm not going to do the tarot here today. I'm just going to split the pack, shuffle and split the pack. Just to see what kind of energies, because I didn't do this part here. I thought I'd save it just to see what comes up while I was doing this prediction. Second part, first part. Okay, I'm gonna split the pack. So first we've got pain. We've got pain there. You can do 3 cards. Believe it or not, we've got joy. And then we've got sensing. Two ways to look at this, either in a painful way or joyful way. But you're all going to get the same senses here that something's not going to be right going forward. We're all going to have it and we're going to deal with it in different ways, right? So the first way to deal with this is the sensing, right? This is the crown of the read, you could say. This is the sensing. This is how I'm reading it. This is how I'm portraying it. And if you've got a problem with it, you've got a fucking problem with it. I don't care. Most people are going to act like this with pain, and they're going to think and see all the things that they've lost. And things like, for instance, if you've got loads of money in the bank, you might lose it all. Or, if, for instance, if you've got a nice car, the bad weather might fuck it up. The pain, yeah. So that what I'm seeing is the two energies here. This is pain. This is fright energy. And this is joy. This is love energy. Now, if you're gonna survive, and bearing in mind humans have survived a lot, we've survived a lot, and we're still here. Going forward, this joy is this love energy is the energy that we're gonna need to at some point get to in order to deal with what we need to deal with to get past this stage and build for future generations. To be fair, that's basically what I'm seeing there. These are the two energies. This energy is going to set you back. This energy is going to try and keep you, put you on the straight and narrow to go forward. Now, when you have civil breakdown, like it possibly could be, your home is your castle, literally. However that is, whatever that is, whether that's a tent, a little tiny put together lean-to, or big massive castle, whatever the situation is, outside of those walls um, will be hell for some areas around the world. Will be hell. There'll be no safety. There'll be nothing. There'll be literally, you might not make it home if you step outside, back, into safety. So they're the two energies, and they're the two relating energies, the polars. As I said at the beginning of the first part, fun enough, the polars, the north and south, the up and down, the left and right, the love and hate, the fear and the love. So obviously there's two energies in terms of sensuality, spirituality. My bad. I was looking at the card as I was speaking. In terms of spirituality, there's two energies. You can either be scared and in fright, or you can be in the love, joy energy, as we're seeing here today. So pain and joy. So by the way, this is a lighthouse meant to be, by the way. What this is saying to you is you decide where you want to be, what you're going to do with this energy. You decide it. Are you gonna give up and just go, right, I can't get to my local store, or there's no fresh running water, my toilets do not flush, or there's no electricity, the hospital's blown up, there's no schools, right, I'm done, I'm just gonna go out and just cause mayhem? Or you're gonna go, right, there's no schools, all right, we're gonna get some books, I've got a book here, I've got some paper. There's no hospitals. Okay, let me see what I've got in my first aid kit. I mean, you have to start from scratch again. Who's got bandages? Do you know what I'm saying? Building a team and starting it back up again. Nah, this is the energies. These are the energies. I personally won't let someone who's in that pain energy come into the joy. I probably, on the other hand, would let the joy energy, if they wanted to, go to the pain to try and help the pain. But I wouldn't allow it the other way around, simply because I'll be scared that the pain energy, the fear energy, would spread into the camp of the joy energy and hamper it. I would probably have some, what's that thing called again? I'd have a cooling off period where that person, if that was in fear, in fact, I'd be neutral. I'd do the same. If the people with joy wasn't feeling that joyful, I'd put them into the middle box and allow them to center themselves, ready for wherever they need to do. Ideally, the same thing. I would have the pain people into a certain area and environment in which then they could come into the joy. I wouldn't flop the energies, as you wouldn't put your hand on the switch if you knew electricity is going to run through it and your hand was wet, would you? Because you know what's going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So ideally, you'd have to go back to basics with just about everything, to be fair. Going forward, this could be a major problem, and these fair people, are going to slow it down, because they're going to be in a fearful energy which won't move, won't do nothing, and they could have actually really good advice or know how to do things, but they're too scared to move. Ideally, just to balance out the pages here, you don't want to be too joyful and forgetting about the risks out there, so it's going to set mankind back a big way. And forget people like the police, and because they're not going to be able to run things. I'll be honest with you, the government are going to run. The government will probably run off somewhere, probably to a bunker. They'll just leave the normal everyday person That's what I'm talking to right now, not the government people. The military may have a sort of martial law, and that would be vicious. But then there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. There's 8 billion people on this earth. There's 8 billion. You know, any institution will struggle if they don't have the right tools to hand. And already, if you're going to be working on the underhand, you need to really do have some real good contingency in place. One of them being some way to feed people and to keep people out of the cold or the heat, depending on where you live. Water them as well. Plus also find crops and stuff, even though some parts of this world will be contaminated. It's a real serious thing, it will be. Now, this prediction, I don't really want to see this come through, really, to be fair. And I hope this is some sort of fantasy wished up in my brain somehow, and somehow the channel message is wrong. But I channel most things right all the time. And for me to think that this may not come true will be, and for me to be acting as an ignorant, as someone who's ignorant, who's, you know, lack of knowledge, basically, when Spirit has sat me down really and really wanted me to put this message out a little bit earlier, but I had to sort some personal stuff out, as well as things that I need to have in place, just in case this does kick off. I need to have things in place. So it really has opened my eyes, but I've made peace. I've made peace with myself, and I've made peace with whatever situation I am in or will be in. I'll deal with it appropriately, and I'll keep into this joy energy and not be in this fearful pain energy, sensing what is going on. So I always keep my energy high. I listen to some nice music. I sometimes sing and dance along my day to keep the spirits up, really. And I do see some people out there who try to keep that fear energy, that pain energy, and you need to be strong now. It's not about thinking that there's a safety net for you. Imagine if there's no safety net for you right now. You're frontline. You are frontline. There's no safety net. If it falls behind you, we're done. Think of it like that. Yeah, but not in a scareful way, not in a way where you're going to be scared to do anything, but in a joyful way. Not joyful as in you're laughing and joking that you're some kind of freak. No, joy as in like you understand the situation, you know the seriousness of it, but you're going to be practical. You're going to be, humane. You're going to be smart. You're going to come clever. You're not going to break and think I won't be defeated. That kind of energy, rather than thinking that the glass is half empty. How about the glass is half full? Even if it does look half empty, you could be left with nothing, or you could be deceased. Think of it like this: a lot of people may not be around. You've got to bear that in mind. So those survivors, you are going to be the founding fathers of the new, that word. Yeah. Because it's going to go horribly wrong for these people. Whoever's planning this, it isn't going to work out. It's going to go horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. And it's quite sad to think that the way of life that we have had it so far has been slowly progressing. There's been a lot of stuff going on that's probably wouldn't, it's not really part and parcel where we need to be. But overall, we've been slowly progressing back up again. And I say back up again because I believe we was here once before like this. And the only thing left is stones, temples and stuff that came from the earth, if you know what I mean. Anything materialistic like clothes and cars and stuff like that, over 5,000 years would have just disintegrated into nothing. So I believe we was established like this as a civilization, probably more advanced, but it's just hard to fathom because there's nothing proof wise other than primitive stuff, basically, to look on. Basically, that's basically how I see it. And slowly we've come back to that point, only for the same kind of technology to be invented again, to put it back again. And probably planet by planet this has happened. You know, there's a red planets that you know, there's all kind of different, you know, who knows, we don't actually know this really. But mankind 2020, so it's like 2023, no, I'm losing myself now, 2030 won't be the same as 2029 or 2021 or 1972. It won't be the same. I mean, it was never the same 1972. I know it's going back some far away to this point here. It's always been progressively changing, but moving it in a forward positive, if you could say, even though we are close to the end. But I mean, in terms of how many people we're feeding, imagine feeding 8 billion people a day. It's a lot of food. It's a lot of food, a lot of drinks, a lot of everything. That's a lot. And we have never, as we understand, been producing so much for so much people as we ever done. And that's what I mean. Not all the negative stuff like crime and all the other stuff that goes in par with moving forward. Obviously, some people want to change, some people don't. Some people find loopholes that might not necessarily be good, you know, but they're still doing it. However, the perspective of it all, it doesn't excuse the fact that if this does happen, the change that it'll bring, to us mentally, socially. You know, these are all things that we've never really, I've never, me, I'm talking personally, have been in the war zone. And I think I talk for many when I say this. That's going to be a quite big change for people when they run to turn the light on, it doesn't turn on, or the door that used to be there isn't there anymore because someone's kicked it through, or you know, there's the rubble and dust and shit everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Breakdown of humanity in a sense. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't. We could pick ourselves up as a collective and be in this energy and try to bring whatever small part we have, bring it back and make use of it. I know some people might say that is carrying on with what we was doing in the past, but if we didn't do some of the things that we've done in the past, we wouldn't be here today. And that's what people are also forgetting. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tapping in today. And please do not feel a sense of anxiety about this. Try to tap into this energy, please, and try to understand the things that you may need now, while it's peacetime, that could help. And here's one. This is my prophecy. This is what I believe will happen, basically. It might not necessarily happen in this way or this time scale, but you should always make some kind of preparations for things if it didn't go the way that we always want it to go, which is the right way. You know, the safe way, the clever way, the normal way. Do you know? You know, we don't want to go out and open our door to an AK-47 sort of firing off and a team of people shooting each other. Do we want to live like that? Really? And some people around the world actually do. This is the norm for them. But majority of the people that live on this earth, there isn't. And collectively, if we were to live like that, what sort of society would that make? Again, it comes back to these two energies again. It's down to you guys, really, on a personal to personal level. He really is. Thank you for watching.